it helped me create my will to want to win, to want to be successful. You train and you work hard in life, to reach a goal. So just a array of emotional intelligence that it helps you develop over time.
Hi, welcome to Fit Kids Conversations. I'm your host, David Jacobson, and today I'm here with Tony Sanneh. He is a former Major League Soccer player, former U.S. men's national team player, played in the World Cup, and then founded the Sanneh Foundation. Tony, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, I would love to hear from the start a little bit about your own fitness journey and what things were like for you as a kid, what your aspirations were in terms of sports and soccer specifically.
Well, I was always a very active kid. And, at 7 years old, I went to visit my father's family in the Gambia, West Africa. And I learned to play soccer there. And that was the thing that really connected me with the community. The other thing we did was a lot of relay races, so it's just a lot of running. So running and soccer. But as I grew up in the Twin Cities, I was a captain of a tennis team. I was an all-state basketball player. So really, every sport was helping me improve all of them. And not only did it help me, I think, be better conditioned, it helped me build networks at school. It gave me self confidence, helped me become a healthier person, and connected me with a lot of people. So sports have always been a part of my background and fitness for the health reasons, but also I think something that often gets overlooked is like the emotional health that it brings when you feel connected to other people and community.
For sure. I want to go back to just the relay races you mentioned, because that's part of the Fit Kids curriculum. We do a lot of relay races and just a lot of having kids moving and active and getting fit without it necessarily coming off as a training regimen. So it sounds like you just for the fun of it were out there running around and being fit. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, just obviously to compete. Even now today, when we do relay races, it might be doing somersaults, it might be hopping on a leg. It's constant movement, right? And then trying to replicate it, but working as a team. And you're right. The goal is you don't want to be working out. You want to be playing.
Exactly. Well, it sounds like you had a blast when you were a kid, and obviously it helped you reach the highest levels of your sport. But how did you kinda make your decision toward soccer?
I think it's just a beautiful game. So, I had a close group of friends that played, and I played basketball as well. I think, being in West Africa early on, I think my group of friends, I was a late bloomer in basketball, but I think just the network of friends, and obviously I'm biased, but it is a beautiful sport and it does transcend, everything. And so it caught my eye, and we'll always be together.
And I love when people call it the beautiful game. No other sport has that, there's certain phrases like "ball is life" maybe in basketball, but the beautiful game. So that's terrific. You talked also about some of the social emotional elements of sports and how that benefited you. I know you're trying to bring that into your programming, your camps, and everything else like that. What was your experience socially, emotionally that really stuck with you?
Well, one, it just kept connecting me to more adults. And I grew up in a single family household or single mother household. And so I had a lot of male influence in my life through coaches that took me under their wings. I had a lot of other families that, helped raise me. And I think my mom helped raise some of our neighbors as well. I was competitive. It helped me create my will to want to win, to want to be successful. You train and you work hard in life, to reach a goal. And so it helped me with goal setting. It helped me to manage my emotions on things that I couldn't control. As a young kid, maybe you act out a little more and you learn to control your emotions. You learn to work because it is for the value of the whole team. You learn to support others. So just a array of emotional intelligence that it helps you develop over time, and just the massive amount of support that you receive for those around you in sports.
Well, certainly it sounds like, from what I know about your foundation, that you're paying it forward, you and your staff, and putting all kinds of community pillars into place. Would you walk us through some of the programs, the key things that your foundation does, not just in terms of the program itself, but how it actually impacts the community?
Yeah, we have, I would say like five pillars. Our largest program is the Dreamline program, and we have 40 mentors embedded into, anywhere between 10 and 15 public schools, supporting kids in social emotional competencies. It's during school, it's also after school. So after school, there's a fitness component where kids are getting to move and active movement and learning and being a part of that. And again, that connects high school kids with a caring adult. It also helps them develop SEL competencies. And then there is a movement based one. So not all kids play for the high school team or they want to play all year round. So it gives them a chance to engage in athletic activities all year round whilst, making sure that they spend time in the classroom and stay on top of their homework. In the summertime, when we're not doing that, we are hiring 150 high school kids and running over 100 free sports camps. So we call it a dual track program, but the high school kids are working Monday through Thursday. Kids 5 to 12 years old are going to camp for free, and they're doing soccer or pickleball or basketball or flag football. And then on Fridays, the high school kids that are teaching, it's their workforce development day. So they will visit, companies and learn about financial literacy or innovation, 3D printing, all kinds of things. So that is, it gives free programming for a lot of kids. It gives jobs for 150 kids and continual learning. We also, run the Conway Community Center. So we have a $12 million renovation of a sports park with the largest sports dome. We have senior programming there, a technology center, after school programs that we partner with Fit Kids that give curriculum so that it's not sports, right? It's curriculum based around movements, SEL competencies. So we're getting kids moving, having fun, but learning about these competencies. And thankfully, with the Fit Kid curriculum, it's one less thing that we have to worry about because we know it's research based and we work on getting trained and delivering these activities. And lastly, I would say we do nutritional services. We serve food, 6 days a week around the Twin Cities, a little over 3 million pounds, and all kinds of food from, cooked meals to open farmers markets, just trying to be a resource and connecting to the community in different ways.
Absolutely beautiful. So, and I appreciate what you said about Fit Kids. It seems like you've really grasped the program and implemented in the way we hope all our partners do. So thanks for doing that. Can you say a little bit about, first of all, the movement elements of the Dreamline program? Because it seems that you've got the physical fitness and activity integrated into what else you're trying to have these kids accomplish. Like they kind of couldn't necessarily go after some of the things they want to go after were it not for having kind of a basis in fitness and movement just as part of their everyday life.
There's a couple of things is, we know movement is a great personal regulator, right? So it calms kids down. And for us, a lot of the kids come to the classroom because we offer movement-based activities. So it's also the bait. And while they're getting healthy, they're coming to do this and then they're willing to study a little bit more. And we know that it's a both and, right? We want them to come and move because it's great for them, but more often than not, it's the one thing that they actually like to do. And we talk about a youth voice a lot. So we give them things that they like to do. And then we get them in the classroom talking about their homework, their life goals, and other things as well.
And how does the Fit Kids program benefit the rest of what is going on at Conway Center?
Well, it really is supports like our after school program and our summer based program. So when buses get dropped off at our school, the kids will rotate and they'll have four stations. They'll do, math and science section where they'll do robotics, work on iPads. They'll do English or arts room. They'll go and work on homework help there. There's a nutrition room where they go and eat, and then they get to go to the gym or on the field. And in the gym around the field is where we use Fit Kids curriculum to make sure it's research based. So we know that they're following a plan. It comes with, tools, activities, ladders, balls. So they get exposure to a lot of different things while working towards something and in a healthy way.
And let's hear about maybe some of the impacts. Maybe if you've even got a story or two to tell about how kids in your community are benefiting, whether it's from the Fit Kids implementation or anything else that Sanneh Foundation is doing. I would just love to hear how these kids get uplifted.
I mean, there's a lot of stories, and a lot of times we hear from parents that are saying that, their kids really don't want to be involved in things. They don't interact with other kids well. They're isolated. We have a lot of childhood depression these days. But, the kids in our Kids Fit program are smiling. The data's off the chart. And we're hearing that kids are actually bothering their parents to make sure that they get there on time, that they get access to it. It's somewhere they want to be, and generally overall happier, more well behaved, um, better friends, and more outgoing with more self confidence. So it's really hearing the stories about the young kids and then actually seeing them before your eyes, right? You'll see a kid come in for the first time, kind of shy, hugging mom, not wanting to let go, to like just trying to escape the vehicle, running inside and hugging the staff and asking to go in the gym because they're just so excited to be there.
Part of the premise with Fit Kids and all of our partners is that we want to set kids up for a healthy, active lifestyle throughout their lives. So what does Tony Sanneh do these days to keep himself fit?
Tony Sane does stay fit. Um, he does pickleball, a lot of pickleball.
All right.
I'm all about pickleball. I
Oh,
play
you
tennis.
do that?
I play tennis. I'd like to think I'm good at pickleball. You play pickleball?
I've tried it only once. I got exposed to it just a couple months ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. I might get into it.
So I enjoy it. It adds a lot of movement, creativity, very social, meeting different people. So I try to play pickleball. My knees aren't great, so I really don't play a lot of soccer these days. I'll occasionally play tennis with my friend David Fema, and that's just to prove a point that I'm still better. But more often than not, you can find me on the pickleball court, practicing, laughing, having fun. And again, I love to play doubles because I like playing with other people and that sense of community.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about your soccer career too. I'm always interested in hearing the reflections of folks who've reached the pinnacle of their craft. What was playing World Cup like for you? What kind of meaning and personal growth and validation did you take from that experience?
It was an incredible honor to play for your country. It was a great individual experience just because, you set a lifelong goal to do one thing. And when you get there, you kind of wonder, like you pinch yourself, what should you do? And then in my case, like I celebrated by, feeling just free to play, in front of a billion people. And like I said, and they call it the beautiful game. So it's someone like putting on theater for a lot of people. And to know that so many people supported you in getting you there, um, and representing your country and your family, it was really special for me.
You've also got, I imagine, a very rewarding experience going on right now, and I don't know if the 2 of those can compare, but, what are some of the personal things that you get out of the work you're doing?
This job is much like being an athlete, and it's super rewarding. On the bus, you tap yourself on the shoulder after the game. You think about what you scored. You're watching yourself on ESPN. In this job, you go to bed. You think about the relationships that you made during the day, the kids that came to hug you, the people that you fed, the buildings that you lifted up. And then the next morning you wake up, and if you don't run faster than the next guy, you're not playing. And if you don't have enough food for everybody, they're not eating. So it kicks your butt, and you got to get up and do it again all every day. So from a competitive nature, it really is self motivating for me. And being an athlete of always wanting to push myself, I like it. I like to have wins on a daily basis as well, and being able to help individual people. and I like seeing people do well and succeeding. So it's very gratifying to try to grow something that is truly like involving others and making people happier and healthier.
I think you work with a lot of immigrant population as well, and if you could talk a little bit about the dynamics there and what you feel like um, your programs are doing, particularly for newcomers to this country and for people who are here who could benefit from exposure to diversity.
Our programs are pretty inclusive, and we do them in all neighborhoods. I think for a lot of newcomers, it's access. We really celebrate our differences. And I think that's something where people can come in, keep their culture, and access program and be seen as who they are and celebrated for who they are. So it's a great way to connect people to the local community if they are newcomers. It also, our programs are free. So, from a financial standpoint, money is a huge barrier for a lot of people. So, this gets taken away because there's free programming. I think for, what you would say, the people that were born here, traditional America, or people from different social and economic backgrounds, um, their kids get the experience of growing up in a real life. And real life means we live in this world. It's a global economy. They get up, they come to our programs and they get to meet people from all different countries, speak different languages, different economic backgrounds, and learn to navigate those successfully. And really is like, how do you make others around you feel good? How do you succeed? How do you become a team player? So it really is great for all cultures, financially, individually. And we have a lot of families that could send their kid anywhere, but they send them here because they believe they're getting a quality program, a lot of times run by other youth that are really the next generation and the voice of what we do.
What are some of the future visions for Sanneh Foundation, specific initiatives or ideas that you're working on these days?
I think we have some of our future visions include like early childhood development center. So building another building, really focusing on children, pre-kindergarten. We know that a lot of our staff members have childcare challenges, so we'd like to provide the resource for them. We're going to continue to invest in people and human development. So all of our programs will have two outcomes: one from our staff and what their growth is and experience and learning, and the second one is the quality programming. And that goes everywhere from feeding to housing to educating. So I think those are our big near term futures. Obviously, we really want to grow pickleball because I play it, and so I think you'll see a lot more pickleball.
I love it. Yeah. I wanna hear more about your food and nutrition programming as well. That's so important and, kind of often overlooked. It's a huge undertaking to literally feed people, and the idea that, you mentioned before 3,000,000 pounds of food. Your website, I think total lifetime for the organization is close to 10,000,000 pounds of food served. So, what are the focuses there, especially on kind of quality, freshness, nutrition, and things like that that are, that's one thing to kind of fill a belly, and it's another thing to really kind of give that building block of health to people.
Yeah, we used to just do it at Conway, but we started to, in our data sets, look at areas of town people came in, and so through that data, we've expanded our programming. We have a client choice model at many of our places, so it's much like a farmer's market. We always, fruits and vegetables are is the biggest thing that we have. We also have dairy and meats, but I'm really focused on, healthy things that you can grow. A lot of times we partner with local, even BIPOC farmers to get the stuff. So again, the closer from us that it's grown, the better. And when money gets tight, we know people are gonna skimp on, the kind of fruits and vegetables they get or go for fast food. So, offering them a free alternative of healthy foods. And then even in our community center, we have a farmer's fridge. in there that has salads and rolls, and it's 100% free. So any kid can come along and get a $16 salad at any time. And so working out and getting nutritious food that really fuels their body is important because then it becomes an expectation through the rest of their life. And then the number one thing that they start think about is how they're taking care of themselves, which is healthy. Because if number one's not okay, nobody's okay.
There you go. There you go. So you're giving people the tools to, improve um, their own, chances for different levels of success in this life, and then they are empowered to go out and do those things for their neighbors as well. So it sounds like you've got this whole 360 community thing, taken care of.
Absolutely. I mean, we want people to basically pick their destiny, choose their path. We want to give them information and resources to get there. And so we look at it as, we're on this journey with a lot of people, but we are just along for the ride.
What are some of the real keys as you see it that people need to be doing?
The number one thing in movement in sports is that it's playing, right? You are literally playing. So if you're going to play, you want to enjoy it. You want to have fun. And I think nobody's going to have fun if they don't feel safe. So create a safe space with physical and emotional safety. Make sure you engage the kids and to make it an enjoyable experience. And the rest, uh, they'll learn on their own, and they're going to do a lot more of it. I often say, you learn the ABCs in class, and then you go home and read. And you could read a lot, and you learn history, but you don't learn all that like in the classroom. You learn to read in the classroom, and then you go and do it, and then you learn about a lot of things. I think in sports and in physical fitness, you learn the fundamentals of sort of how to exercise in a safe, healthy way, but then you really get to go on your own and do it. So, you know, if kids are inspired and they have healthy habits, they're going to go and practice and play for many hours on their own. And that's where we get the Michael Jordans, the Messis, or just even like the lifelong, players, people that enjoy sports as they're part of their life and they play forever because they've created networks of people that are important to them and that give them this sense of feeling and belonging that is really necessary emotionally to be a part of a community.
That's wonderful. We've got just a few minutes left. I want to make sure that you can give any shout outs that you want to fire away with any message that you want to give out there for people to reach you.
If you want to see me play pickleball, you probably want to follow Tony Sign. A lot of times I may be going against David, but if you want to learn about the Sanneh Foundation, thesannehfoundation.org. It's the Sanneh Foundation on Instagram, on Facebook. So what you see is what you get. We try to share information about what we do. Sometimes there's tips, sometimes just positive attitudes, positive energy. So come check us out, see what we do, learn from us, teach us, comment, tell us how to get better, and help spread the word. We got a good thing going, and we want to do it with you.
Well, Tony, that's all wonderful food for thought, literally and figuratively, as we delve into fitness, nutrition, all the other things you're working on. Really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was a great time.